So this quarter in the clay studio, we have to take not just the regular precautions that we take dealing with clay dust and those sorts of things, but we also need to take precautions for COVID and exposure. So the most important things for you to know off the top are: do not come to class sick. If you are feeling sick and there is any question about what it might be, you still shouldn't be coming to class. Feeling any kind of symptoms, stay home. There's lots of pieces of these classes that are online, and we're gonna make a plan. Basically, I'm looking at a module that you can do online to replace part of class. So we'll figure it out. If you are very ill and cannot work online during that time, we'll figure it out. So just communicate with me when you are able to, and we'll figure it out. We're all figuring this out as we go, and so I don't have super strict rules on stuff because we don't know yet. Before you come to campus, you need to fill out the health screening form. I've got links to it in the start here kinds of stuff in the class. Get to it straight from the YVC homepage. It's right up at the top. It says campus reentry, and then you can get to the student health screening. In there, you have to say you're not sick, basically. If you have been exposed to someone who's sick and you are not feeling sick, the rules get a little more complicated whether or not you're vaccinated, and so I'm going to direct you to the website, that same website, the Campus Reentry. There's some links to CDC information. Under the FAQ, it says what to do if you're sick. Follow that. I'm not going to tell you 100% what to do because it could change and this video could become outdated. As of right now, I think if you are not vaccinated, you need to stay home and quarantine. If you are vaccinated, there's some stuff about testing, but go to that website, check it out. You're welcome to call me and see if I can help you figure it out. I understand it's all new kinds of stuff. Masks. So you're healthy, you're not exposed to COVID, you filled out the health screening, now you can come to campus. You do need to wear a mask. I wear an N95 because it doesn't go on my mouth and that bothers me. But I'm also wearing it because when I work with clay, I need this kind, and so it's sort of doing double duty for me. We have, on campus, we have the surgical masks. You can bring your own, it can be a cloth mask. Please make sure it covers your nose and your mouth and not the chin wearing, not over the ear, whatever. And then it's gonna be on for a while, so make sure it fits well, it's not falling down on you. If it is falling off, I'm gonna make you go fix it. I'm gonna make you go either get a different mask or tie up the ends. My ends are tied up because it's too big for me. You gotta have it on, so make sure it's comfortable and you're not gonna have to constantly be touching it. Entrances. I am sitting in the front of the classroom. Whiteboard is back here. Hallway entrance is over there. Kiln room is over here. You can enter two ways to get into this building and this classroom. You can enter from the main entrance. That's the front entrance of Palmer Martin. That is only going to be open, as of right now, I believe that is only going to be open right at the start of class, right at the end of class. If you are coming to open studio hours, we will have a schedule on the board. That'll change probably week 2 once I hear what students need. At that point, you can enter through the kiln room, and I've got a map in the first announcement, but you can enter through the kiln room door, and that way we know somebody's in the clay studio, but the whole building isn't really open. That's how you're gonna get in. When you come, we're gonna check your temperature, make sure you don't have a fever, and remind you, make sure you did the health screening. If you didn't do it, you can pull out a phone and do it here outside. The only times you can be in the studio are when Rachel is here or when Betty is here. We will post those times on the board, and I'll post them in Canvas as well. Oftentimes in the clay studio during non-pandemic times, people can come in and take a look at what you're working on. I can't allow that at all. I cannot allow anybody who's not a registered in the class student. But we'll take nice pictures of work, and so you'll be able to show stuff to people before you bring it home at the end of the quarter. You also need to have 3 feet social distancing. During class times, we are gonna have either the wheels or the work tables set up so that you are 3 feet apart from each other. We're gonna try to keep you sitting in those spots, so we're gonna get you assigned spots. On the first day, you'll see everybody's got a bag of clay at their spot and their stool. We want you to sit at those spots are about 3 feet apart, and we want you to stay 3 feet apart. We also need you to pick a spot for the quarter. If somebody were to get exposed, we have to be able to track who they were in contact with. Contact counts as within 6 feet. even though we're allowed to sit within 3 feet of each other. I know. I need to be able to tell folks where you were during class. There are times you're gonna have to move around the studio. There are times when I'm gonna have you be in other rooms. You're gonna help load kiln, you're gonna do some glazing. At those times, we will limit who is doing what at each time. Like, only 2 people will do a thing at a time, or whatever the room capacity. When you are not at your spot, I'm gonna ask that you pay attention to not clustering and not hanging out close to people for a long time. Momentary passing, you know, getting through, you gotta get to something, gotta get to a tool, that's fine. Just we don't want you spending a long time spending a long time close to other people. Masks will help us, vaccines will help us, get vaccinated. Vaccines will help us, masks will help us, social distancing will help us. Other things we have in the studio, big open space, and we've got good ventilation. So we're trying a bunch of things to keep us safe. And of course the other is making sure you don't come to school sick. So lots of things. I think we're gonna be able to keep everybody safe, but I just do wanna make sure people are aware of your responsibility, our responsibility to keep everybody safe this quarter.